The rhythmic chugging of the train resonated through the station as I stepped onto the platform. It was a cold, misty evening, and the air was heavy with an eerie anticipation. I clutched my suitcase tightly, feeling a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Little did I know that this would be a journey I would never forget. As I found my seat in the dimly lit cabin, I noticed an old, worn-out journal left behind by a previous passenger. Curiosity getting the better of me, I opened it and began to read. The pages were filled with ominous warnings and stories of strange occurrences aboard this very train. Despite my skepticism, a shiver ran down my spine. As the train departed, the atmosphere seemed to grow more somber. The flickering lights cast eerie shadows on the faces of my fellow passengers. Each person appeared lost in their own thoughts, their eyes filled with an unspoken fear. The train car was filled with an unsettling silence, broken only by the occasional creak of the aging locomotive. As the train rumbled through the darkened countryside, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I glanced around, but no one seemed to pay me any attention. The journal's haunting tales continued to haunt my mind, and I couldn't help but wonder if there was any truth to them. Hours passed, and the train stopped at a desolate station in the middle of nowhere. A few passengers disembarked, leaving me alone with my growing unease. The train conductor, a grizzled man with weary eyes, warned me to stay aboard. "This place is cursed," he whispered, his voice laden with a mixture of caution and resignation. Reluctantly, I heeded his words and remained in my seat. The train lurched forward once again, but this time it carried an unsettling energy. The lights flickered more violently, casting erratic shadows on the walls. I could hear whispers echoing through the empty corridors, growing louder with each passing moment. As I ventured out to investigate, a chilling wind swept through the train, extinguishing the few remaining lights. Panic set in as darkness enveloped the cabin. I fumbled through the abyss, my heart pounding, desperately searching for any sign of light or life. Suddenly, a blood-curdling scream pierced the air, reverberating through the train. Fear gripped me as I realized it was coming from the adjacent cabin. I rushed towards the source, my heart pounding in my chest. The cabin door swung open, revealing a scene straight out of a nightmare. The walls were splattered with fresh blood, and the lifeless bodies of passengers lay strewn across the floor. Their vacant eyes stared into oblivion, frozen in a horrifying expression of terror. I stumbled back, my mind unable to comprehend the gruesome sight before me. As I tried to make sense of the horror that surrounded me, a cold hand clamped down on my shoulder. I turned around, gasping in terror, only to find the conductor standing behind me. His face was etched with a deep sadness, his eyes haunted by the unspeakable. "These tracks carry a dark secret," he muttered, his voice trembling with a mix of fear and resignation. "Once the night falls, the train becomes a vessel for the tormented souls who were taken too soon. They seek retribution, and no one is safe." Determined to survive, I begged the conductor for answers. He revealed that the train had been cursed decades ago, following a terrible accident that claimed the lives of all aboard. Since then, the train had become a conduit for restless spirits, forever trapped in a purgatory of their own making. With the conductor as my guide, we embarked on a treacherous journey to unravel the mystery and put an end to the curse. We delved into the history of the train, unearthing forgotten tales of betrayal, tragedy, and loss. Each revelation brought us closer to the truth, but it also drew the attention of vengeful spirits who lurked within the shadows. As we ventured deeper into the heart of darkness, the train itself seemed to come alive. The walls trembled, and the floorboards creaked under our weight. Angry whispers echoed through the air, drowning out all rational thought. Finally, we reached the engine room, the epicenter of the curse. The conductor prepared a ritual passed down through generations, hoping to release the tormented souls and bring peace to the train once and for all. But as he chanted the incantation, a malevolent force surged forth, shattering our resolve. The vengeful spirits materialized, their ethereal forms twisting and contorting in anguish. They attacked, their bony fingers clutching at our throats, determined to drag us into the abyss with them. We fought with every ounce of strength we had, driven by the desperation to survive. In a final act of defiance, we managed to complete the ritual. A blinding light engulfed the train, banishing the malevolence and releasing the spirits from their eternal torment. The train ground to a halt, and a profound silence settled upon the cabin. As daylight broke, the train returned to its former self. The passengers, once lifeless and cold, regained their color and warmth. They awoke, bewildered by the events that had transpired, but grateful to be alive. The conductor, now free from the burden he had carried for so long, looked at me with a mixture of gratitude and sadness. He knew his journey had come to an end, and it was time for him to move on. With a nod of acknowledgement, he vanished into thin air, leaving behind only memories. The train continued its journey, but now it carried a new sense of serenity. Passengers exchanged stories, connecting through the shared trauma they had endured. And as I looked out the window at the passing landscape, I couldn't help but reflect on the fragility of life and the strength of the human spirit. The blood-stained express taught me the true meaning of survival, the power of determination, and the importance of cherishing every moment. As the train faded into the distance, I carried the weight of the horror and triumph within me, forever changed by the darkness I had confronted and overcome. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe our channel and click the bell icon for more interesting stories.